My name is Burgerella, and today I want to talk about Far Cry 4. I managed to get the platinum for this game twice. I'll put the platinum clips here to prove I did actually get the platinum twice. Funnily enough, it was the same skill and the same trophy for all skills that the platinum popped on. This video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't played this game that came out 10 years ago, then watch it at your own risk. Okay, now you know I've done it twice, I want to talk about the game. The first time I played this was actually on the PS3 in 2014. I'd actually only just gotten a PS3 at the time, so it was one of the first games I played. I had a PS1 and a PS2 when I was younger, but I was a Nintendo DS fan for a long time. From what I remember about the game, it was quite challenging for me at the time, and I remember giving up after the prison in the mountains mission because it felt super scary at the time. After going back to it this year, on the PS4 version this time, I have to say it was surprisingly not that difficult. The spooky mission that made me give up wasn't actually that spooky, and I completed the game both times without much trouble. You play as AJ, who has come back to Kyrat to fulfill his mother's last wish. Pagan, who is the dictator or king of Kyrat, stops the bus you're on and takes you to the palace. He gets a call and asks you to wait until he gets back. There is a secret ending where you can wait until he comes back and the game will end there. If you don't wait and you leave, Sabal from the rebel group The Golden Path will help you escape. Once you do escape, you meet Amita, who is the other leader of the Golden Path, and Badra, who is apparently a Tarun Matara, which is some sort of religious belief that she is a goddess reincarnated. You end up having to choose between Sabal and Amita during the game because they want different things, so depending on who you choose, you will have different missions. On my first playthrough, I sided with Amita and did all of her missions, and the second playthrough I sided with Sabal. Pagan talks to you through the radio throughout the game, which makes it fairly difficult to dislike him because he is such a funny and charismatic character. Sabal starts off very nice and friendly, but as you get further into the game, he does change and becomes colder and more hostile. Amita is rude at the beginning and does end up becoming more friendly nearer the end, but she is still pretty abrasive. Whoever you side with will ask you to murderize the other. In both playthroughs, I let them both live though, because you have the choice whether or not you kill them or not. Another big part of the story is Pagan's employees, if you could call them that. Paul, Noor, and Yuma. You will have to take all of them out to be able to confront Pagan. The game follows the usual Far Cry formula, where you capture outposts and climb radio towers. I don't think the story is that interesting, but one of the things I do like is they made both leaders of the Golden Path have immoral and unethical plans for Kyrat, and would not be any different than Pagan in the end. Speaking of the end, once you reach the palace at the end of the game, you have a choice on whether to shoot Pagan or sit down and eat with him. In my first playthrough, I sat down and Pagan takes you to where your mother wanted her ashes placed, and then he leaves in a helicopter. You can shoot it down, but I just let him go. In my second playthrough, I shot him at the table and that was the end. You don't get to place your mother's ashes. If you're wondering what happened to Badra, the child that is allegedly a reincarnated goddess, if you choose Amita, she will say she was sent away, but it's not clear if that means to the grave or somewhere sunny. If you choose Sabal, he will try and marry her. Either way, there isn't really a good choice to make. That's what makes this game interesting, is because you really have to choose between the lesser of two evils. The story isn't that long, but there's a lot of side content you can get up to. The gameplay was actually super fun and I really enjoyed it. I love running around and climbing bell towers and taking over outposts, finding the collectibles and hunting animals. The animals in this game are the most aggressive creatures in any Far Cry game in my opinion. Every 2 minutes something is attacking you. I like Far Cry games in general, so I think I'm biased, but I really do enjoy the environment and the choice of weapons they offer. The rhinos and elephants in this game make it my favorite Far Cry game for wildlife. Now I want to talk about the trophies and the platinum. You'll need to get 50 trophies in order to unlock the platinum. There is a variety of story-related combat skills and collectible trophies. There are unfortunately some online multiplayer trophies. There was also a problem with the servers and the platinum had been unobtainable since May 2023, and in mid-January of this year it became obtainable again. The trophy for online modes is called Renaissance Man, and you have to play 3 different game modes on the Battles of Kyrat. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, this trophy is complete ass to do. The first time I did this trophy I waited at least 30 minutes in a lobby to get into my first match. Then I had to try other game modes, so that meant lots of waiting for people to join. You can try and get friends to help boost this trophy if you can manage to convince them to play a Ubisoft game. It can be even more difficult to sell them the Far Cry dream. Another trophy is to play a top-rated map in the map browser. I played the same map both times and I got this trophy. It's pretty easy to get this one, it just feels unnecessary. There are 2 co-op trophies. One of them is to capture an outpost as Herc, which means you will need to beg and plead for one of your pals to download the game and let you join theirs. The other co-op trophy is performing a vehicle takedown as a passenger of a car. You'll need a pal to drive you around to find a car to hijack. This one is slightly more annoying because you need to unlock a skill to get the option to do a takedown. It's also locked in the beginning, so you have to complete a race to unlock the skill. There are around 6 trophies to do with the story, so you'll have to play the game to the end to finish these trophies. I'm pretty sure the Shangri-La is unlocked through the story when speaking to Yogi and Reggie. It doesn't matter too much because you have to do another Shangri-La mission to get all the skills anyway. There are a lot of miscellaneous trophies in this game. So the collectible ones are pretty easy. You have to take down posters, read notes, collect masks and lost letters, and spin money wheels. Luckily, they don't make you collect all of them. Next, the combat ones. You can pretty much just get these as you go along. I wouldn't usually use a mortar, and it's the first combat trophy I go for. Using the elephant is really fun and not too hard to get. There's also 2 driving trophies, one for shooting and one for running people over. I found these trophies to be really fun. More tedious ones are having to get a double headshot, and the first time I got this one was pure luck, and the second one was premeditated. The other one is to take out an enemy with a bow from 60 meters away. This one to me isn't my favorite because I'm terrible with the bow at a long distance. If you try enough times you will hit something. Bad advice I know, but it does work. There are quite a few trophies for doing the different missions in the game, like survival, bomb defusing, and hostage rescue for example. You'll also need these missions to unlock the skills, plus they are good for farming XP when you need to unlock all the skills. Once you capture outposts, these missions will pop up. So the next trophies are for capturing 12 outposts and 8 bell towers. You also will need to conquer 2 fortresses. There is also a trophy for capturing all of the outposts. You don't need to capture all bell towers, but it makes life a million times easier to see the map. And we aren't done there, there are a few more trophies that you'll need. One for reaching rank 5 in the arena. You'll also need to capture an outpost without triggering an alarm. To unlock a skill, you'll need to capture 2 outposts without being detected. A really annoying trophy is to distract 15 enemies with rocks. It's not as easy as it sounds. You have to fully distract them so that they look around and return to their original position, for it to count as a full distraction. This trophy took me a lot longer to get both times because sometimes they won't go back to their original positions. Some more trophies that you'll need are for reaching Karma level 2 and buying an upgrade, spending 500,000 in the shop and buying 3 upgrades for your house. You'll also need to craft 5 upgrades for your gear and fly 5,000 meters with the wingsuit. You'll also need to craft 15 syringes, and you'll need to buy all attachments and paint schemes for a single weapon. And then you'll need to tag 25 enemies with your camera. The last ones are for the skills. You have to unlock 10 for one trophy and unlock all skills for the other one. Unlocking all the skills is the grindiest trophy for this game. There are 4 skills that you need to upgrade 10 times each, so the chances are you'll need to farm some XP at the end of the game to finish up the skills. I think that covers all of the trophies, so once you get those, you'll have the platinum. The trophy for all skills is the last trophy I got both times I played. It wasn't intentional, it just took ages. Now I want to give my opinion on the burger rating for this game. I want to start by saying that I'm a Far Cry fan in general, so my opinion might be more biased than some. The story of this game didn't really pull me in as much as other Far Cry games have. I will say that I absolutely love Pagan Min's character, and he is definitely the best part of this game. AJ as a character is pretty bland. He doesn't really have much personality, and he kinda just does what other people say without question. I do like the fact that Amita and Sabal are very flawed people, and whoever you choose, there won't be a good ending. The gameplay was another highlight of this game. Exploring and hunting animals is really fun. The story missions can become pretty monotonous, but it's not a very long game, so that can be forgiven. Climbing the bell towers and capturing outposts for me is really fun, and I don't mind the repetitiveness of it. Overall, I would say that in terms of the environment and the world, Far Cry 4 is my favourite. Now I'm going to give the burger rating. I found it difficult to rate this game because sometimes it was super fun and sometimes it wasn't. The first time I got the platinum, I really enjoyed it, and the second time the story missions felt more annoying. Overall though, I think it was very enjoyable, so for that reason I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 burgers. I think that's all I want to say. Also, I just want to add that this is my opinion based on my likes and dislikes. If you've played Far Cry 4, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching!